Hi, Frank. I'm calling you live from the after show. You got Joe Gorga Stone.
By way of mouth to mouth, no less.
At least it wasn't ass to mouth.
Coming up on the Real Housewives of New Jersey after show.
I'm just showing your family coming from Italy.
I was like, should we have Gino walk down the aisle with Adriana?
It's a little bit using the kids as pawns-ish.
I'm like about to cry. I felt like I was at someone's bar mitzvah.
I wasn't super touched. I think that Melissa would be fine living forever without Teresa. She's not that invested.
I was like, oi.
He was like,
I love catching a cock.
The Real Housewives of New Jersey after show starts right now.
Let's talk about the murals.
oh, it was so overwhelming.
Your Montville home when the girls were all little.
The Patterson Falls, because this is where we grew up.
Yeah, all of your bestsellers.
Oh, thank you.
I don't like to be put on the spot. Like, I don't like attention. So it's like, you know, it really meant a lot.
I think mine was the best.
I'm like about to cry. I felt like I was at someone's bar mitzvah.
I don't want this to come out the wrong. I wasn't super touched. I was wondering what was for dinner.
I feel like the energy, first of all, was like really heavy because it felt very dark and it felt very like funeral-like in a way.
It did. Started with Sala Gonzalina, because that was where your parents were from. Jesus Christ. And I'm just showing your family coming from Italy.
All right, stop.
Your dad, your mom, you, your brother.
It didn't feel celebratory. It
Not
felt
at
like we
all.
were saying goodbye. And you see, like, I guess my true feelings came out. I started crying because I was like emotional.
I swear I knew that was yours.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got emotional about that because, like, I did remember, like, at one point, it was just the four of us. And we were so tight, you know, and unfortunately, it's not like that anymore.
I got so emotional that family is like broken, you know, and that Joe doesn't have that family anymore, any of them, basically. Everything I do with Teresa, I kind of feel like, where's Joe? You know, because it's like her and I don't have that, like, come here, like, she never wheeled me in that way, you know, so I always just look for Joe because I'm like, it's all about Joe for me.
Like, I don't know what goes through her head. That's the thing, I don't know her. But I'm sure my brother and her have had arguments regarding the family, you know, and I'm sure they have.
We all started crying. It's so heartbreaking, and everybody got caught up in that moment.
She wasn't crying for her own pain. She
said
was
she just
crying
felt so
for
bad for
Joe's
Joe.
pain because she knows how much it hurts Joe. I think that Melissa would be fine living forever without Teresa. She's not that invested. I think that she's just so hurt for Joe.
I think
That's all they
they'd
have.
be fine living without each other. I mean, they're not
Melissa and
obviously-
Teresa, yes, but
At
I
this
think
point,
that
there's
Melissa's
no love
heart
lost
breaks
there.
for Joe. But I knew also in that moment, as much as Melissa was crying and hugging Teresa, that in her head was like, I have to go home and tell my daughter that her aunt said something about her on the show.
Melanie was so hurt that it told her to go to her Sweet 16. She could have made the Sweet 16 for 1 hour.
You know, so I knew it wasn't like a pure moment.
Oh, yeah, I could cry thinking about it now. Listen, Melissa and I talk about it now to this day, how emotional that minute was. Anybody can say what they want. Teresa has been through hardship. Her life has come so far. She's turned it around. Melissa has been there to see all those memories. I mean, there's very few people who are in Teresa's life who have lived all this with her. At the end of the day, this is all you have. These are the people who live this with you. They hold the key to your stories. So why are you going to not fix this? People don't give Melissa enough credit that she is very sensitive and emotional. I think sometimes Melissa puts a block up. People have said, oh, she's cold. She's not cold. Teresa does come across warmer to people sometimes on the outside, but Melissa is very warm.
You know, I've been through a lot with Teresa, and just the fact that we're not in a good place and she's about to get married and maybe change her life to go a different route, maybe just struck me in that moment, just sad. Because, I don't know, like I would think she'd remember the people who were there the whole time.
So at Guys Night, it comes up that Louis asked Bill to be a groomsman.
Bill Aiden is asked to be in the wedding?
Yeah.
You're in a wedding party, I hear, right?
We got asked.
He was in the wedding? Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Hello, welcome.
I mean, listen, they did ask Joe Gorga to be in the wedding originally. And Joe's like, if my wife's not part of it and everything else, I get it. But it's just like, just stop while you guys are ahead. You know, who's next?
Well, I had Jennifer, and he said, he's like, I'm going to ask Bill. He's been really there for me also, same thing. I said, oh, that's great. I said, because then he'll walk with Jennifer.
I mean, at that point, it was like, so the waiter was also asked to be a groomsman in the wedding.
No disrespect to you. You're an afterthought. And we got no one else. Let's throw in Bill and Jen.
I mean, Joe Gorga's probably dying inside. That's got to kill him. But everything Teresa and Louis do that is positive for them is going to kill Joe because he's not a part of it.
Joe had every opportunity to become close with Louis, but Joe keeps willingly steer away from that type of behavior. Like, instead, he's attacking Louis.
Stop, please, stop. What? Stop.
How is this guy going to put you in his wedding when you're talking about him? You called him a piece of and garbage.
I just want him to know you're a piece of you're garbage.
You're sitting there putting him down constantly.
You don't know bro. You've been here 1 minute.
Bill doesn't put Louis down constantly.
I love Louis. I'm the brother-in-law he doesn't have.
There you go.
Bill is a support system for Louis and vice versa. And Louis wanted that. You don't think Louis wanted Joe to be in the wedding? They asked Joe to be in the wedding, and Joe said no.
At this point, we have tuned out the wedding and who's going to be in it and who's not going to be in it. I think we're at this point ready to just go to the wedding, attend the wedding, and then stop talking about the wedding.
Hell yeah.
At Casey Farm, you have some fun trying to catch the cock.
I've never seen anybody who's afraid of cock as much as some of these broads.
I mean, when you're catching a cock, saying that out loud makes me happy.
Ugh. I love catching a cock. I was shocked that Danielle was afraid of animals. So I was like, oi.
Yeah, we could surround.
I'm like, ew, I
Yeah.
get ski-botsed a little bit.
You don't want to get rabies.
I think it's a sensory issue. I don't know. I'm not for it.
I grabbed it.
Fabulous. Prize bird.
I just don't like livestock. I'm not so much of a farm chick.
Oh, because the rest of us are.
Get off my back. I don't want to get the cock anymore.
I'm afraid of birds.
I did that pretty quick, though.
Get him, Teresa, you can do it! Teresa, now pounce!
This is from watching the movie Rocky.
My God, that's there you go. Who knew?
Teresa went in there and was like, hold on, let me get the cat. And
Well,
she
she
was
used
like,
to have chickens.
She was just like, ding, 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 I got it.
Did you
I
know
was
she
like,
used to have chickens? Yeah, she used to have chickens. I mean, I think Joe, her ex, used to tend to them, but she told me how they used to have chickens.
Is that what you do? You tend to a cock?
Tend to a chicken?
Tend to a cock.
How about Teresa picking Melissa to be her partner?
I'll bring Melissa with me.
I want you to catch the cock all by
Game
yourself.
on.
I already caught your brother's cock. She was all of a sudden like, my sister-in-law, I want my sister-in-law. I think Teresa was having a moment the next day after the Antonia thing.
Girls, am I saying Antonia's bad? Wait,
That's like disgusting that you would even bring them up.
The whole past 3 months has been about Melissa and I. I just wanted peace.
See, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was cute.
I tried, and then
It was an
the cock
activity.
bit me. I screamed because he literally bit me. He was like,
oh, he was pissed probably by the time you got in there.
I mean, I'd be pissed if somebody was trying to chase me to pick me up and take a picture with me too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a lot of women on one cock.
I know.